He's
yes, finally, referee.
What a
3 wins out of 3 for Michael Carrick at Manchester United. Yes, we made it difficult, but guess what? It don't matter. It don't matter because we've got the 3 points. It's 3 out of 3. Manchester United now up to 4th place, 4th in the Premier League. We leapfrog Chelsea. We leapfrog Liverpool, and we're in those Champions League qualification spots, DJ. We made it difficult for ourselves, but yet again, Manchester United show, what do they show? Resilience. They still show that resilience that we associate with Manchester United, right? We never die. Even if we're 2-0 up and we've blown a 2-0 lead, we'll come back and we'll win that game. We'll do it the difficult way if need be, but we'll get the job done, and that's what we did today.
Yeah, and I think you said something that was spot on. I think Carrick might have jumped with his subs a little early, but it was the same set of subs that then turns around and wins you the game. First half, boring kind of game, but I think we did enough, obviously, to edge it. Great goal from Casemiro. And then you're just thinking then we just kind of need to, just manage the game a little bit. Game got a bit away from us. I think Fulham did well to kind of get themselves back in. I think Fulham actually played a little bit better than we probably anticipated in terms of them moving the ball around. But look, hard way, easy way. That was the Manchester United of old. You know what I mean? Stoppage time winners, that's what the club, and that's what Alex Ferguson's tenure was kind of built on, is winning trophies, but also doing it in style like that. And I think, 3 wins on the bounce. It took Amorim forever to even get that. We've yeah, that's what I mean. And Carrick's come in, and it's been such a breath of fresh air. You see our players playing for him. You see the passion. You see the fans getting behind the squad, and you're seeing, that shows strength and depth in some respects, because you're seeing obviously Cunha come off, and then obviously Sesko coming on and gets a goal. So look, man, every week we subscribe to this soap opera, because that's what it is. Essentially, it's a soap opera being played out in front of us. But big up the boys, man. Well deserved win. Big up the boys.
Yeah, and look, again, it wasn't pretty. And it still is the same concerns of like when Ruben Amorim was there, of the substitutions shouldn't negatively impact the game as much as they do, but they have, for all of this talk about Casemiro leaving at the end of the season, God, just how influential is he? The fact that he can come off and then suddenly we can look really, really shaky is a concern. And he's probably our man of the match today, right? Gets a goal and assist. A very close one would probably be Bruno Fernandes, because for all of the talk, and I know that people will say, oh, here we go, Bruno PR and this, that, and the other. Yeah, but it is true. For all of the talk that people like to give Bruno about net negative and he's a detriment to the club and he's this and that, and he can go, fuck it, we've just gone, we've bottled a 2-0 lead and he's right up the other end, going past a Calvin Bassey that's just on the pitch. Like, he's literally just got on the pitch and he's outpacing him, outmuscling him. He's on the fall and he still manages to get the ball into the box. And then the finish by Benjamin Šeško, that's a top finish. That's the glimpses you want to see from your 60, 70 million pound striker of, right, okay, we know you're raw, we know you're young, we know maybe it hasn't gone your way so far in the sense that it's been difficult for you, but when it mattered, because actually from an attacking perspective, when Šeško came on, look, he hit the post and he scored a goal. Attacking wise, he actually did all right. Defensively off the ball, maybe could do a bit more.
Needs to do better with that,
But just to go back to Bruno, like, just even today, you could argue maybe didn't even have his best game. He still got 2 assists. He still takes the free kick from Cass's header. And then that's on Bruno making that happen, making that goal happen, still managing to cut it back. And of course, Šeško still does a brilliant finish touch, put it in the top corner. And that does something, I think, for your mentality, for the players, for the fans, and for the opposition players as well. Like you said, under Sir Alex, there was always this feeling of, even if you're 1-0 up at Old Trafford, if you're 2-0 up, if you've equalised in the last minute, that doesn't mean shit. Yeah, that means nothing, because Man United have the potential to go up the other end and to score a goal straight away. And that's what we've done today. We did it last week. We did it at Anfield. We did it against Spurs this season when we thought we'd lost that game and De Ligt scores in the last minute. Like, that's not a coincidence. We do it that often. It's
at Laser 1212 super shattered 35 South African Rand. This is what a second-year performance looks like. Good in patches, good when it matters. This builds form and consistency. #Carrick Cooks.
Hey, look, Carrick, he's getting it done. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and this is when can't talk out of both sides of our mouths, yeah, DJ, because as we've said before, performances, they come and go, and you want your team to perform well, but it's about results. This is a results-based business.
Results.
Yeah,
it is. It's about results.
This is a results-based business, and as we've also been saying a lot recently too, if you can get a run of wins together, you will fly up this table. Manchester United and Michael Carrick have won 3 out of 3, and just for what it does to the Premier League table, we can see right there we're fourth. We're fourth. Actually, I'll go to this screen here. We're fourth. Like I said, we've leapfrogged Liverpool and Chelsea. Also above us, Aston Villa lost to 10-man Brentford today. So we've gained 3 points on them. So we're only 5 points off Villa. And this was the kind of the point I was making earlier on. If you can get, again, these run of wins together, hopefully as this sort of top 6, I mean, look at Brentford. Fair fucking play to Brentford. They're still only 3 points off 6. But if Man United can keep picking up these wins, we can start getting a bit of distance between maybe not Chelsea and Liverpool, but certainly the teams down here. Look, we beat the team that was in 7th place today. We need to keep picking up those wins, keep getting as solid as possible in those European spots, because that's the objective for us this season. Get into that Champions League next season, get the money that comes with that, get the players that comes with that as well. And that's a successful season for Manchester United. 1 game a week, all that fun stuff. Get into the Champions League, and it's a really, really weird one. This result actually today, GGA, isn't it? Because for large portions of that match, we are comfortable. You know what I mean? It's not like we're getting smashed, but we just make it difficult for ourselves, don't we? That's the problem.
At Louisiana Davis, 9,475 super shattered £5. I'm serious, Ugarte needs to go. Carrick should have come on the pitch instead. God, I miss his passing.
Do you think is it like, let's be honest here. Here we go again.
At Vikrams Ria, 9,125 super shattered $4.99. I don't understand why Roy Keane doesn't think Carrick can't be the manager. He is producing and getting the results.
He doesn't think Carrick can be manager because he doesn't like him. He's got a beef, you know what I mean? He's got a beef. Yeah. To say the phrase, if he wins every game between now and the end of the season, he shouldn't be the manager is kind of wild, because that would be like maybe title winning form.
Yeah, exactly.
But on this Ugarte thing, DJ, is it as simple as Ugarte's coming on and we're conceding goals straight away? Because it's not the first time this has happened this season. Or is that an oversimplification of like, are we being a bit too harsh there on Ugarte, or is that true?
I think it is harsh. I think unless it's unless Ugarte's gone into a player, fouled him, they've scored from a free kick, or unless he's lost his man and the man's run off the back of him. For me, obviously, I think we just compare him to Cass, and he's just nowhere near Cass's level. And for what Ugarte excels at, we're not actually really built as a team for what he's good at. But what I will say is, I do think it is a little bit harsh for Ugarte, in my opinion.
Is this fair?
I don't think he's good.
It's less about Ugarte coming on, but more about Casemiro coming off. Is it more that?
Yes, it's more that, because Cass sniffs out danger, and Cass, for as agility limited he is, he makes sure he reads the game very well, that he's in those danger spots. He's in the danger areas to clean up. And that's why he's a world-class defensive midfield player. Ugarte isn't at that level, so I don't think it's anything that Ugarte's done personally, because he didn't put a lot wrong, in my opinion. There, guys, you might disagree. He did what he had to do. He kept it simple. That was it.
Well, and the first goal that we conceded is a penalty. You can maybe trace that back to, I think Šeška gave it away, and maybe Kobe was involved in it, but that one's not really on Ugarte, I suppose. Is it?
Yeah. I just think
3,742 super shattered $4.99. Give Carrick this job and let's build for the summer.
I'm not getting into any of that talk until the season's done.
Okay.
We're not doing that. We're not good.
You're not?
I'm not doing that. Nah.
I'm not yet. I'm not yet.
Flex
and KG can't do it. They agreed, even as a joke. They said they wouldn't do that. I'm like, well, and look, today's not the result that's going to get Michael Carrick the job or anything like that. But in terms of so far and how it's going, and you know what actually gets lost? I'm just seeing that Cunha goal back. That is a brilliant goal. That is honestly
the angle that he's at.
Yeah, look at that. Just smashes it roof of the net, and there's a no-look pass from Casemiro as well.
Yeah.
which is brilliant. And they had their
That's just funny.
this was for a game that was, for a lot of it, really boring. The second half was ridiculous, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Second half was
It
a
was
really eventful game, which is
end
kind
to
of
end
wild.
stuff. End to end
Yeah.
stuff, and I just think I still think that we played. Someone mentioned it in the super chats that second gear. I think that's a fair statement. It didn't seem as intense as
At Louisiana
didn't
Davis
seem-
9,475 super shattered £5.
It's immediate, mate.
With
It's
Uncle
immediate.
Casa leaving, I say we get McSauce back so he can finally win the Ballon d'Or. He could unlock Dorgu.
Hey, let's not get too carried away here. You know what I mean? Let's not get too carried away. But you were saying, DJ.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. I forgot what I was saying now. Lost my train of thought.
Well,
But hey, win's a win. A win's a win.
That's the important thing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's the important thing. Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
game can't be, because against City didn't really get anywhere close to us, and we were pretty dominant. Arsenal, even though it's a 3-2 result, I think it kind of does us a disservice how actually in control of that one we were. Today, would you say we're in control of it? Yes, in patches, but it got away from us at points as well. Obviously, it gets away from us because it goes back to 2-2. We're such a contradictory side as well, because there is an element of fragility that is there, that we can collapse and concede 2 goals. But there's also this element of mental resilience that even though we can concede and blow it, we can still go up the other end and score, which is positive because in years gone by, we would just collapse. We wouldn't do anything else. We would just collapse. We wouldn't go and score. So I guess that is still a positive. And as you mentioned, and we say this a lot, don't we? In 3 or 4 weeks' time, we're going to be remembering what happened in that Fulham game, or are we just going to remember the result? It will just be the result.
I will totally forget everything, all the mini details, who did what in the game apart from the scoreline. And some people, you get obviously some people that are really romanced by football. So they'll be like, no, United play good, or they're more into kind of, the details in terms of the passing and the shape and the formation. But me, that's great. That's as and when the game's on. As soon as the game's done now, all I'm caring about is 3-2 United, 3 points. We're into 4th. Really need that Champions League spot. As you said, that money coming in is going to help us. The score matters, man. It's a results business, and everything else is sugar and icing on top, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. It is a results-based business, and look, you want games like today to be straightforward. You know what I mean? Yeah. But sometimes it don't work like that. Exactly, Falcon Shuffle.
At Falcon Shuffle 24 super shattered $4.99. If you'd told me 9 point out of 9 3 weeks ago, I'd have called you crazy. Carrick has moved me. He has to be instilling Fergie mentality.
That's the key thing, isn't it? Is that this is when you you have to put things in perspective. Before Michael Carrick started, if you'd have said 3 wins out of 3, City, Arsenal, Fulham, no context, no how you performed, it would be just 3 wins out of 3, 9 points. Everyone would have gone, well, yeah, obviously, 1,000,000%. So we can't really critique it too much. You know what I mean? Yeah. We can't critique it too much.
At Suparch 4058 super shattered €5. What is confusing is, we say no to Carrick, get a top name MGR and we go back to ETH or Omorium settings, back to square one and Carrick is off the table.
Is that a worry? Like, do we run the possibility? This is still too early to say because we've got 14 games to go. But is there a concern of because I've seen people say this at the moment of, well, would Ruben Amorim have got 3 out of 3? And the likelihood is you never know, but you're probably not, right? So is that a concern of we could go get someone in the summer as a new head coach? They might be a massive flop, Yeah.
And I think look, there's so many variables and there's so many kind of things to say on it. I personally wasn't gonna make any kind of comments until the season was done, but since the question's been asked, look, even if Carrick doesn't win all the games towards the end of the season, but he maybe loses 2 out of this run, I still think he should be under consideration from the job. And the reason being is
record. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. And I think even if he lost 3, no more. If he lost 5, then no.
Nope. At Louisiana Davis 9,475 super shattered £5. I just realized we've already equaled our points tally from last season. Omori might
bloody hell.
actually deserve jail time.
Is that
That's
true?
crazy.
That
Is
true.
crazy if that's true. But yeah, I was
Yeah.
just saying that. Obviously, I just think that even if Carrick was to lose 3 games, he should be under consideration. Whether they pick him or not, that's another thing. But I think with what Ineos want to go with, they want to go with a manager that is experienced, a manager that knows what it's like to win. Because
Hey, the super chat's going wild.
At John
Yeah,
Tate
yeah.
super chatted
Keep 'em coming, keep 'em
899
coming.
Yeah.
rupees. Bugatti didn't do much wrong and didn't add much either. Shaw didn't add anything either. Sometimes you just need to scrape wins and that's what they did today. Big up. Guys, don't use this robotic voice.
Well, we can. There's only a few we can pick from. There's Australian. There's like I'm not sure which is the Irish one or something like that. But that I agree with you when you're saying there about sometimes you do just need to scrape wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's just the name of the game, isn't it? You know, you're not gonna dominate every single time. Like you said, I remember me watching United of old. Man United didn't always dominate every game. A lot of the time, like I said, Man United gets a lot of hate from the current pundits and what have you, because obviously we used to win the titles a lot, but also we used to win matches that we didn't really deserve to win a lot of the time as well. But it's just constant Man United. You know
At
what I mean?
Don
That's what it was.
3742 super chatted $4.99. I don't want any more emotional, tactical merchant managers anymore. Give it to Carrick and we move. Jail time for Rimmer.
Calling Amarim Rimmer is crazy. That's crazy work.
That's diabolical.
It's crazy work. It's crazy work.
Yeah.
I don't want any more emotional tactical merchant managers anymore. Well, look, the best thing that Michael Carrick can do is what he's doing right now, which is win games.
Thing is, though, yeah, this fan base is so divided. Like, guys, if we're being honest, we're not even united ourselves, because the reality is this: if Carrick was to get the job and it goes horribly wrong, right? Which it could, right?
Yeah.
If it
We'll
goes
turn on him.
horribly wrong, he wasn't
We'll
good
turn on him.
enough. Why did this? We should have never got the job. We've made the same mistake again. Why don't we learn from the past? We're going around in circles. We could write the headlines now. Months in advance, year in advance. You could write the headlines now. That's what it would be. But I think if you got a more of an experienced coach, because Ineos themselves seem very inexperienced at this moment in time, and they seem very incompetent, you would like to think that at least the coach is one of the most experienced football people for Manchester United, for the team. So that's why I would kind of be in favor of a top elite manager coming into the side. Back him with money, get the players that needs to play for the squad, and maybe we can do something. But again, I'm also depending on, again, because it's early days, it's only 3 games. If you lose the rest of them, then what? Do you know what I mean? So, you know, that's why I said I wanted to wait till the end of the season.
Well, think about it as well. Michael Carrick today was maybe like a few minutes away from being like, yeah, definitely don't consider him for the job. You know what I mean? Because it was 2-2. It was 2-2, and we've thrown it away. See, actually, it's nothing to do with Carrick. It's just the players. Players are criminals. And then, you know, but you get the win and suddenly it's like, actually. So that is true when it is like it's proper fine margins in football, isn't it? Like your whole career and how good you are is defined within a matter of minutes, which is insane. And what's interesting is I don't know if we go up the other end because of Michael Carrick making, you know, changes or tweaks or whatever. It might have just been a thing where that's the players, you know, it's Bruno Fernandes making shit happen. We've bottled a 2-0 lead and they realize because it's just, we got to go up the other end. And maybe that's the environment that Carrick, you know, allows. Maybe that wasn't really allowed, you know, that individualism maybe isn't allowed under other coaches, where it's just go up the other end and just do it for everyone forward. Maybe that's what it is. You know, maybe that's the thing of Carrick.
4058 super chatted €5.
Super
I can see
chatted.
fans turning on Carrick if he brings Rashford back. I agree, DJ and Owen. Let's have a real talk when it's game 35 or so.
I saw that about the whole Carrick might want to bring back Rashford. I don't know if that's a real thing, by the way. I saw a lot of people getting quite upset and what have you about that. I feel like with Rashford, just in general, it's every other week he's either definitely staying at Barca or Barca aren't happy with him. They're definitely going to send him back. So a bit like the overall Carrick decision, I think just wait till the end of the season. I don't think Marcus Rashford is coming back, because I also think that a bit like with, you know, say like Garnacho or someone like that, I don't think it was just Ruben Amorim doesn't like Marcus Rashford. I think it was there's there's other people in the club that have got issues with Rashford, and I think it's
Yeah.
just, and also he's one of the highest paid players at the club, so I think there was just a desire to get him off the wage book as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think he's coming back. I don't think Rashford's coming back. You know, I think he's gone. You know, whether that's to Barca or not, I don't know, but I think he'll be gone.
Yeah. Just one last thing, Owen, just kind of with what you said. I think you're right. I think Carrick was a couple of minutes away from making the same mistake that Amarin made. And that's why, you know, we used to talk about fine margins and, you know, a lot of people
believe.
At Louise App Davis 9,475 super chatted £5. Even if we beat Spurs next week, in my opinion it won't mean anything other than 3 points. No victory will ever make me forget the Bilbao incident.
Oh yeah, well, no one's thinking if we beat Spurs, that's for us losing the Europa League final. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
Yeah.
That doesn't make us into the Champions League this season and have an extra trophy. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say that I think would our conversation be different if you know, Sesko doesn't score that goal? Would
What
our
about
conversation
Carrick?
be different?
Of
Carrick
course.
would then
No,
he would
that's what
look
I mean.
so different, right? And that's why
Yeah.
I think
Fine
you know,
margins.
you kind of got to get sort of like rub of the green in certain. But to be fair, we made that goal. That was a team goal.
Yeah.
We made that goal. Like Bruno makes
Yeah.
that goal, brilliant.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of the time when Amarim might have lost, he lost a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was down to like little things like we've just seen, because I thought once obviously Casemiro went off and they've obviously scored, I'm thinking, and we kind of said it, did he make the subs a bit earlier than expected? And even if that's agreed before the game, you got to kind of react at the same time sometimes to how the game's panning out. And just lucky that Sesko's managed to score that. But, you know, Carrick's learning very quickly, very, very quickly how it was for Amrim as well. So I don't think Carrick's going to be flawless. And we've got to, even though it's going well now, we've got to be grounded and be realistic. There's going to be times where it doesn't go well. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to make changes too early or bring on the wrong player. So, yeah, we just got to be realistic.
Got to be realistic indeed. Big up, DJ. Appreciate you joining me as
No
per
problem,
usual.
man. No problem.
Yes, the dynamic duo continues to get another victory. I mean, I think DJ is our lucky charm. You know, 3 out of 3. You know what I mean? He was in the studio last week. He was here today. You know what I mean? That's what he does. That's what he does. So,
Big up everyone in the
DJ,
chat, man.
yes, we'll see you next weekend as